Hi everyone, we're just going to jump right into this. So today you will need a tiny curling iron, the smallest you can get. This one is like 10 millimeters, I would like to say. It's very small. Then as usual, we will need the wet brush shine. This has the boar bristles for the smoothing of the hair, as well as your normal rat tail comb that makes it easier to section, one butterfly clip, or whatever clips you prefer, some duckbill clips, and you're going to need a lot for this look today. Some bobby pins, again, lots and lots of bobby pins. This will help us pre-curling. Some dry shampoo, a thermal protectant to protect against the heat, a setting spray, which is very important, I think, for any pinup looks. And to get started, we are just going to get probably a day or a couple of days of dirty hair will work best for this look. So we got it nice and dirty here. And we're just going to want to spray this dry shampoo in. This I typically do the night before the day that I want to wear this style, just because I think it'll let the look really set in with those curls, as well as this dry shampoo is really going to absorb the oils as we sleep. I like to sleep on this setting look. This is a two-step process for me. So once we've sprayed in and let that really accumulate into our roots in just a little bit, we'll get the wet shine brush, and the boar bristles also help with continuing to move that dry shampoo and distribute it throughout the hair so we don't have gross oily hair as we begin to curl. Now we will start to section. As always, I typically like to section from ear to ear in the back area, and I like to start from the bottom and work my way up, and then we'll secure that with our one butterfly clip or whichever clip you would prefer. Pardon that little piece of hair sticking out. It didn't really affect the end result too bad, but then we'll get the rat tail and section that as well from top to bottom, splitting it in half. And it, again, doesn't have to be perfect. As long as we get everything sectioned right and curled nicely, it'll all be fine. And we'll clip that up with the duckbill clip. Now we will take our thermal heat protectant and spray the entire section and divide that up. And with this style, typically I will split this into two sections, but with this we're going to need the smallest sections we can to really retain that wave. So we're going to split this into 4 tiny little sections. And then we'll get that tiny curling iron. You could even use a wand for this look, because what we're going to do is we're going to go up with it, not the other way. We don't really need a lot of volume with this, so we're going to go under the barrel and then let that hold for about 5 seconds, just depending on when that curl really sets in. And then with that, you could just keep the curl and then clip it from there. I am a pain, and I'm going to come back to it and then kind of roll it into place and pin it. And then we will do the same thing all the way through this section, going again under the barrel, and everything needs to be curled the same way throughout the entire head. We don't need to go away from the face or towards the face or anything like that. Everything needs to be going under the barrel the exact same way. And now we will grab from the bottom and kind of roll it inward, almost like a little tiny roll, and that will be our pin curl. And again, we are going to just go flat against the head. We don't need to elevate it at all at the base, just because, again, we don't need any volume with this hair. We mainly just need the body. So pinning against the hair is going to be the best way to retain all of that body that we need. And these don't have to be perfect as they're clipped in place. As long as they have that curl retained in them, they will be fine. And we'll just secure it with at least one bobby pin. And as you finish up with that bottom section, we will take the one above that and start doing the exact same thing on that row, going in tiny, tiny sections, rolling it up, and then we'll continue to go throughout the entire head. And now that we are done with that complete bottom area, we will take out our butterfly clip and section. I like to do 3 top sections just because of the shape of the crown of the head and all that. I go one part where I typically part my hair, and I like a deep side part on that left. And so we're gonna part it all the way back. Again, kind of leave a little bit of room around that crown area, like a little diagonal, so when your hair is up, you don't have your part going all the way back. And now we just secure that with a duckbill clip and go on to the larger side. And with this, honestly, you could, since this is the heavy part side, you don't necessarily need to section it in the middle like that. I just like to do it to know that everything is going to be even throughout the hair as it is curled, and it just makes it a lot easier and manageable for me. And then we're securing the top with that butterfly clip, and we will now start on the side, and we will section it in half, still going on that kind of down area that we've been sectioning with, splitting the top from the bottom, and again, tiny, tiny sections. Secure that top with that duckbill clip, spray your thermal protectant, and then start rolling away. And as we've been doing, once you are done with the bottom row and that section is all pinned and secure, you will just continue up to the next row until we are done with the whole right side of the head. And then when you're done with the right side, you just start on the left side, doing the exact same thing, going from bottom to top until everything is pinned and secure in place. Now that you have everything in place and secured in these pin curl clips, and again, they don't have to be perfect at all. You're just going to be sleeping on this anyway. We will take that Suavecita setting spray and spray it all over just because we are sleeping on this. So we do want to have that extra little hold, and it'll all dry up in the morning. And this stuff smells so great. Then we will take a silk bonnet or a scarf or something like that you can sleep on and just secure your hair with that, because if we were to go to sleep without anything on it, it would be a hot mess when we woke up in the morning and curls would be tangled. It would not be good. Next is the morning after sleeping, and you just start by taking off your silk bonnet. Let's see how it all did. It actually mostly all stayed in place. And so we are going to need now the wet brush, a teasing comb, some combs, one maybe with a wider tooth in it, that way the waves will kind of fall nicely, your duckbill clips, butterfly clip if you need it, a little bit of dry shampoo if you need it, Workable hairspray. I prefer the Get Layered by Big Sexy, and then a firm hold hairspray. I like Suavecita. And then a working wax to kind of smooth everything into place. I prefer the Kenra, but you could also use a smoothing pomade. And then a handheld mirror so you can check it from all angles. So now you just go ahead and take out all of your bobby pins. And it doesn't matter how these curls come out because we're just going to be brushing away from here. And now you have crazy curls, crazy hair. So the trick here now is to break apart all of these curls. First, I like to just start with my fingers, kind of break through and get all of these pin curls stretched out. At this point, stretching the curl is going to be the biggest priority with this style. Then we'll take the wet brush with the boar bristles. You really need it now, because those boar bristles are really going to smooth that crazy little flyaway hair you always get from any type of semi-wet set. And you're just going to want to brush every inch of your hair, over the hair, under the hair, sides of the hair, bottoms. Every part of your hair needs to be combed and brushed out. Now that you've brushed out majority of the hair, we're going to take a tiny bit of that dry shampoo, mainly for that hairline area, just to collect any excess oil from the wet set. And we're also going to take our Kenra smoothing wax and rub that through our hands and distribute it throughout the entire hair, because these are really going to help seal down that flyaway frizz hair and kind of mold everything in place. I prefer the Kenra working wax just because I have finer hair, so it's not going to weigh down the hair too much. Suavecita pomade is great, and I can use it with my hair, but I find with that it tends to get oily faster or just kind of more product-y. Where this I can use as much as I need to, and it is fine with my fine hair. And as you can see now, once we have that wax in there, I'm taking my smoothing brush again and just kind of distributing the product, making sure everything is starting to find that wave nice and easy now, and kind of molding my hair together. Some little tricks that'll also help with any type of vintage hairstyle is, especially at these ends, if you brush the very bottom into your hand, that kind of helps form the hair to go under the hair, under the head. That way it's laying all tucked in nicely. And then we take the teasing brush, which also is very, very good at smoothing since it is also boar bristles. And we're gonna really fine tune this hair and kind of get it to mold nice and easy into those waves. And once we start to find the wave at the top of the hair, I like to secure that with my duckbill clip. That way, the duckbill clips, you just kind of, once you've found the wave, you kind of pin it in place where that wave is starting to form. And with me, I always kind of make sure I focus on around this hairline area and get the waves really forming there. In the back, I'll just kind of form the waves with my hands. And with that, since we've got a wave there, I like to pin that part that I want going forward down. That way I can just kind of pinch it going the way I need it to towards my face. And then we'll just kind of mold the rest of the waves from there. I do really need a haircut. Hopefully by the next time I do my wave tutorial, I will have trimmed off these little ends here because they just are not doing me any favors in this look. Kind of gives me a little too much access here that I need to fold under. And going on the other side again, finding the wave or just kind of smoothing out pieces that we want a little more smooth around that ear and everything like that, molding these waves with these duckbill clips. And once everything is pinned nice and where you like it, we are going to grab our Workable hairspray to get those, unruly hairs that are just wanting to curl or do something kind of out of the ordinary that we don't want. And we're going to secure those down with that and kind of smooth everything into place. I like to go side by side with the Workable hairspray and just kind of spray aside, start to mold it, push it down the way I need it to lay and everything like that. And then I'll go to the other side, spray that side, secure everything down. Then, once everything is again where I want it to be for the most part, I will start to take these pins out and kind of smooth around where, if they have any indents, would be, kind of make it mold where I want it. I will just get my firm hold hairspray, and that is going to be the all power of God keeping everything in place. And if you have extra time, which I was in a rush that morning, of course, going to my job, if you have extra time, you can always grab a blow dryer and put it on the medium power setting with high heat, and you can just kind of lightly let that air hit your hair and it'll seal everything in and have the hairspray dry. That way you will secure your look for the rest of the day. Now I will check it from all angles, the back and front. Use your handheld mirror, and that is all. As always, thank you for watching. Please like or subscribe.